COVID-19 pandemic chronology video for today, 17 March 2023, as of filming this in the city of Shoreline, King County, Washington State, United States of America, planet Earth, the original, as of filming. And happy St. Patrick's Day, first off. It's not really a pandemic in my life update, but it is happy St. Patrick's Day. Then we have my first update I wrote and published on Wikipedia. I have more to do, but my page curation that I wrote and published was restructuring World Series and World Cups for the Tomoka Sato Wikipedia article. She's a Japanese female artistic swimmer. To try and make it some sort of coherent story. Because the format is, the overarching format has not changed. But the scoring system changed in her sport by FINA, used to be FINA, currently semi-World Aquatics. I can whack. So yeah, putting that out there, and so that's done. So I'm focusing on what I've done already, or yeah, or the next two are moving forward. So I guess that's the one that's done. Then there's one that's partially that's done but has a future component, possibly. So that's the first update. Second update is I looked up locations to get a new pair of glasses. So these are my backup pair of glasses. I don't wear them because, or I don't normally wear them because of these little things. They start to dig into my nose, so they kind of hurt. But it wasn't so much problem when I got them, and then I started wearing them and I was like, oh. And so and they're not good for like exercise and stuff. The metal frames rust, and there's metal in here. Is there metal in here? Well, it's pretty well protected, but point being, they're not comfortable. And there's metal here. So there's metal in the frames. It's just my Ray-Bans didn't have metal right by the nose, and because I sweat on my face, it can rust the metal. I was pointing to the wrong part of the glasses. Which there's metal in here, but it's encased in plastic or whatever this is, so it's more protected than the one up on my face, that part of the frame. So I've looked up locations. I can go to Fred Meyer, Target, and Walmart. I had called my medical insurance already before Kona Dog broke them. So I was out picking up peanut shells. Kona Dog was really excited. He had a stick. He ran into my face and like it snapped. And I got 2 puncture marks and a welt on my nose. So somehow when they broke, I just saw him, my glasses snapped and flinging, and I went down to pick up part of it, and he came back and grabbed it like it was a stick, and I was like, Kona, no! And then he kind of knew that he'd been scolded and went up onto the deck and kind of waited for me, and then was like, it's okay. And I later gave him like a little piece of my apple because he likes apple and stuff, and so he's okay, but he was kind of freaked out. He was really excited, right? He had this stick he wanted to play with. It was an honest mistake that he made. So, yes. And so so that happened yesterday. So I'm getting a new pair of glasses, or my goal is to get a new pair of glasses, and I need a new eye exam for that. And so my health insurance when I called was Target, Fred Meyer, Walmart. So I looked up Targets online that have optical, not all Target locations. It's a brand of like department store, I think. And not all Target locations have optical sections. And so the two that I'm looking at are Northgate, a Northgate location, which is North Seattle, a neighborhood in northern Seattle, and then Lake Stevens. So those are the two I am debating between. While the Northgate one is closer, the Lake Stevens one, I might be able to get in sooner, or might have less traffic. So there's a little bit of a balance there. My goal is sooner, but that doesn't always, yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. Giving myself a day or two to decide, because, so that's the second update. And that one's pandemic related because going to the doctor during the pandemic has been a little bit different, at least from my dentist visits. So I don't know like if I'll be required to wear a mask or not, like when I go in and stuff like that. So kind of relaying what I'm out there living / experiencing kind of thing. So that's the second update. Third update is why I'm giving myself a day or two to, Target Optical allows scheduling appointments online. So as long as I tried doing, yeah, so possibly that it could be done quickly, the scheduling. But today we are holding a funeral service for my Grandma Rosemary at the house. So at this house, my parents' house. I don't know. We talked about different locations of holding the service, and she was cremated, so we have her ashes, and we're going to bury her ashes. And she loves squirrels, so burying her in the yard is very perfect because there's a bunch of squirrels, so she gets to be buried with her critters, so to speak. So it's very fitting. I'm not really sure where, because we've talked about the front yard or the backyard and the front yard and stuff, and so I don't know where at the house, but it's being held at the house. And for that, my sister and my brother-in-law, so my sister and her husband are coming over. It'd be my dad, my mom, and me, and the critters of the backyard, and Kona dog. And then we're thinking of ordering from a local pizza chain based in Seattle, if I'm recalling correctly, Pagliacci Pizza, for dinner. Yeah. So yeah, those are my updates for today. And why is the funeral and her death? She didn't die from COVID-19. However, access to her was during the pandemic up to when she died, was severely impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic and protocols to keep the elderly safe because they were are highly susceptible to getting the virus, kind of thing. So yeah, those are my 3 updates for the day. Happy St. Patrick's Day!